Hello students, good morning everyone. So we are discussing the monosaccharides. So what are monosaccharides? These are the simplest carbohydrates which cannot hydrolyze further. That carbohydrates we call it as what? Monosaccharides. Under the monosaccharides, glucose, fructose we will discuss. In the previous session already we completed about the glucose. In this session we are going to discuss about fructose. Fructose. Remember that both glucose and fructose, they both are having the same molecular formula, but glucose is what? Aldohexose, whereas fructose is a ketohexose. So fructose is a ketohexose. So what do you mean by the ketohexose? Having ketonic functional group and containing hexose. Hexose means having 6 carbons. 6 carbons containing keto functional group containing monosaccharide, we call it as what? Fructose. Okay, the fructose, it is also we call it as levulose or fruit sugar. Levulose or fruit sugar. Why we are calling them as a levulose? Because of its levorotation. Levorotation. They rotates the PPL, plane polarized light, into left hand side. Those all compounds we call as what? Levorotatory compounds. Okay, so called because of showing levorotation, we are calling the fructose as levulose. And why we are calling them as a fruit sugar? Because this fructose mainly occurs in fruits. So called fruit sugar. Okay, so next one, coming to the preparation methods of fructose. We can mainly prepare the fructose from sucrose and inulin. Inulin is a polysaccharide, whereas sucrose is what? Disaccharide. So sucrose general formula C12H22O11. So when this sucrose on hydrolysis, sucrose on hydrolysis in acidic media, acidic hydrolysis, or by the using of an enzyme, what? Invertase. With the use of an enzyme invertase, we can hydrolyze the sucrose into glucose and fructose. Sucrose on hydrolysis, we get the mixture of glucose and fructose. And this glucose and fructose, they both are having the same molecular formula, I told you already. But glucose is what? Aldohexose, whereas the fructose is what? Ketohexose. Then you may get the doubt. How can we separate the fructose from the glucose in this mixture? So simply take this mixture, do the crystallization. By doing the process of crystallization, we can separate the fructose from this mixture. Okay, so this is what? Preparation of fructose from sucrose, from disaccharide. The next method of preparation is from inulin. Inulin is what? A polysaccharide. So it's a general formula C6H5ON. Okay, C6H10O5. Sorry, C6H10O5N. N times it was repeated. That is why we are representing the general with the C6H10O5 taken N. This on hydrolysis, take N moles of water. In presence of acidic media, we will get N moles of fructose, C6H12O6. So this is what? Fructose, N moles of fructose. So this is the second method of preparation of fructose. So simply we can prepare the fructose in two ways. One is from disaccharide, another one is from polysaccharide. Next, move on to the structural elucidation of fructose. What is the structure of fructose? Now, what is the difference between the glucose and fructose in structural form? Structural elucidation. Structural elucidation. As we know, out of all sugars, fructose is the sweetest sugar. Fructose is sweetest sugar among all, and it is highly soluble in the water. Highly soluble in the water. When we dissolve it in the water, immediately it will dissolve in the water. And if you take the fresh solution of the fructose, it shows the rotation, specific rotation of, it's a specific rotation of fresh solution is nearly minus 133 degrees. Minus 133. But after some time, they reaches to the equilibrium, and at equilibria, its specific rotation is what? Minus 92 degrees. Anyhow, it's a negative value. Negative means what? Levo rotation. Positive means dextro rotation. That is why we are calling this fructose as what? Levulose. Whereas glucose, what is the other name of glucose? Glucose also we called as what? Dextrose, because of showing dextro rotation. Anyhow, coming to the structural elucidation, spectroscopically, the molecular formula of fructose is same to the glucose. They experimentally they determined. So the molecular formula they gave as C6H12O6. How do we know that? Experimental result, or by using mass spectroscopy. Okay, they determine the molecular weight. From that molecular weight determination, they gave the molecular formula as what? C6H12O6. Next one. When fructose on reaction with HI in presence of red phosphorus. So when the fructose on reduction with HI, hydrogen iodide, in presence of red phosphorus, we are getting N-hexane as major, N-hexane as major, and 2-iodohexane as minor. Anyhow, in the major product, N-hexane means all 6 carbon atoms are linear. So from this experiment, what we concluded, all the 6 carbons present in the fructose are linear. Clear? Next one. When the fructose reacts with hydroxylamine, NH2OH, hydroxylamine, we are getting oxime. What we got? Oxime. When we treat the fructose with ammonia, imines. So it conforms from these two. When we treat the fructose with the hydroxylamine, we are getting oxime, and when we treat the fructose with ammonia, we are getting imines. They both, and these two experiments confirms presence of carbonyl functional group. Carbonyl functional group means it can be an aldehyde group or ketonic group. So we need to confirm whether it is an aldehyde group or ketonic group. Next one. When this fructose on reaction with sodium amalgam, when fructose on reduction with the sodium amalgam, we got mannitol and sorbitol. Mannitol and sorbitol. Okay, so when we check the structures of mannitol and sorbitol, they both are differ at C2 carbon. Okay, and it confirms that they both are differing at C2 carbon. It confirms that there was a presence of ketonic group, and that ketonic functional group present at what carbon? Second carbon. So this experiment confirms the presence of CO group at C2. Presence of CO group at C2. Next one, when fructose treated with bromine, there was no reaction. So bromine is what? Mild oxidizing agent. It cannot be oxidized by the bromine water. It confirms the absence of aldehyde group. Bromine can oxidize only aldehydes, not ketones. Similarly, when fructose treated with strong oxidizing agent like concentrated HNO3. When fructose are treated with a concentrated HNO3, we got glycolic acid and tartaric acid. Okay, they both are confirming what presence of ketonic group at C2 carbon. And when we treat the fructose with a acetic anhydride, okay, we are getting pentaacetate. It confirms the presence of 5 OH groups. Among the 5 OH groups, 2 OH groups are primary, remaining 3 are what? Secondary. Okay, so these all are what? Structural elucidation. To determine the structure, we did these all experiments. From this all above experiments, the structure of fructose will be, what will be the structure? All the carbon atoms are linear, 6 carbons, and having ketonic group at second, so ketonic group, and having 2 primary alcohols. So this is primary alcohol, this is another primary alcohol, remaining 3 alcohols are secondary. So this is 1, this is second one, this is third one. So this is the open chain structure of what? Fructose. Okay, so next we will draw the cyclic structure of fructose. So these all already we discussed in the glucose. That is why I didn't go in detail briefly about the structural elucidation. We just know how to determine the structure of fructose. That's enough. Okay, next move on to the cyclic structure of fructose. Cyclic structure of fructose. So fructose having a 5-membered ring structure. It's the same as like what? Furan. Okay, the 5-membered ring structure is what? Furan. Its structure is similar to the furan. So that is why this 5-membered ring structure of fructose we name it as furanose ring form. Okay, so if you draw the furanose ring form of fructose from open chain structure, see that I am drawing open chain structure here. So this is an open chain structure. So how the cyclic structure will form from open chain structure? The cyclic structure will form by formation of hemiacetal ring between C2 and C5. C2 and C5. See the OH group of, or the ketonic group of this one will form the hemiacetal ring with C5. See that? I am drawing the structure like this. This is a furan ring. CH2OH, OH, OH, H, H, OH, CH2OH, H. This is one structure. C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 and C6. C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 and C6. The second carbon is making the hemiacetal ring O linkage with 5th carbon. Okay, so here this is one structure, one possible structure. Another possible structure is So this is another form. So what is the difference between that structure and this structure? In this structure, the OH group is bottom. Okay, so this is called alpha anomer. Okay, alpha anomer are also called alpha fructose. And here the OH group is what? Above. So this is what? Beta fructose. Beta fructose. And they both are what? Differing their configuration at only one. Okay, so at first carbon, so this is the first carbon and second carbon. At second carbon only they are differing. So they both are what? Anomers or epimers of fructose. This is the alpha form and this is a beta form. Okay, so this is a cyclic structure of fructose. Fructose having furan ring form, and that furan ring form of fructose we call it as a furanose ring. Okay, this is the structure of furanose ring. Next, move on to oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides. So what are oligosaccharides? Okay, oligosaccharides are nothing but the carbohydrates which can hydrolyze further into monosaccharides. Suppose if the oligosaccharide, if any carbohydrate on hydrolysis, it is giving 2 monosaccharide units, then what we call disaccharide. If the carbohydrate unit is giving 3 monosaccharide units on hydrolysis, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides, pentasaccharides. Likewise, the oligosaccharides are nothing but the carbohydrates which releases 2 to 10 monosaccharide units on hydrolysis. That carbohydrates we call it as what? Oligosaccharides. And we generally we mainly see the disaccharides here. Disaccharides means the carbohydrates which furnishes 2 monosaccharide units on hydrolysis. That carbohydrates we call it as what? Disaccharides. Disaccharides. Okay, so examples for the disaccharides we discuss: sucrose, lactose, maltose, etc. Sucrose, lactose, maltose. See, if you see the sucrose general formula C12H22O11. When sucrose on hydrolysis, acidified hydrolysis, or with the enzyme invertase, enzymatic hydrolysis or acidic hydrolysis, sucrose will give D-glucose and L-fructose. Okay, D-glucose and L-fructose. They both are having the same molecular formula. Okay, so sucrose on hydrolysis, how many of monosaccharides we got? 2. So it's an example for disaccharide. Similarly, if you see the lactose H22O11, even this is also having the same molecular formula. When this lactose on hydrolysis, acidified hydrolysis, are by the using of emulsin enzyme. Which enzyme? Emulsin. Lactose generally present in milk. That is why this is what we call milk sugar. Milk sugar. So emulsin will hydrolyze the lactose into D-galactose and L-galactose, sorry, D only, D-galactose and D-glucose, galactose and glucose. So how many of monosaccharides it is giving? 2 monosaccharides. So this is an example for disaccharide. Suppose if you take a maltose, even the maltose also having the same molecular formula. This on hydrolysis, acidified hydrolysis, or else with the using of enzyme maltase, we are getting 2 moles of D-glucose. 2 glucose units they are producing. So these all are examples for what? Disaccharides: sucrose, lactose, maltose. Okay, so these saccharides on hydrolysis releasing 2 monosaccharide units. so called disaccharides. Then you may get the doubt. There was a 2 monosaccharide units. So then how these 2 monosaccharide units are binding together in a disaccharide? So in disaccharides, the 2 monosaccharide units are binding together with a strong glycosidic linkages. What are the linkages present between the monosaccharides? Glycosidic linkages. There was a glycosidic linkage. Glycosidic linkage generally we represent with O. There was a strong glycosidic linkages between the monosaccharide units. Okay, glycosidic linkages. How these glycosidic linkages are forming? The glycosidic linkages are forming by, say if you see the structure, the glycosidic linkages are formed by linking of OH group of one hemiacetal carbon of one monosaccharide. This is the hemiacetal carbon. The OH group of hemiacetal carbon of one monosaccharide will bind with OH group of another monosaccharide unit, and by losing water molecule OH plus OH, H2O will eliminate. Finally, there results the formation of glycosidic linkages. So the OH group of one monosaccharide will bind with the OH group of another monosaccharide, and by losing water molecule, there results the formation of glycosidic linkages. Okay, let us see the structures of these 3 disaccharides one by one. Sucrose. The first disaccharide is what? Sucrose. It is present mainly in plants. Sucrose mainly present in plants. Okay, so that is why we call this as plant sugar. Plant sugar. Generally, plant sugar starch we call. Okay, starch on partial hydrolysis we get sucrose. So how to prepare the sucrose? When starch on partial hydrolysis we get sucrose. Sucrose is highly soluble in water. It's a highly soluble in water. It's a colorless crystalline solid. Okay, and it is a sucrose is what initially it's a dextrorotatory. Okay, the pure crystalline sucrose is what? Dextrorotatory. Okay, dextrorotatory, having what? Plus 66.5, showing the rotation of 66.5 degrees. So it's a dextrorotatory. But after the dissolution in the water, okay, the sucrose solution, in sucrose solution, what happened? There was an inversion of its configuration. So initially, before dissolution in the water, it's a dextrorotatory. But after we dissolve it in the water, its a sucrose solution becomes what? Levorotatory. So L form. So what is the reason? Why? Let us see. See, if you take the sucrose on hydrolysis, what we get? We get glucose plus fructose. The glucose value is 52.4 degrees, dextrorotatory. Dextrose also we call. Fructose is what? Minus 92 degrees. Sorry, dextrorotatory, it's okay. So sucrose and hydrolysis we get glucose plus fructose. So 52.4 and 92 degrees. The average of these two, the average will get what? Minus 20 degrees we get. Minus 20. So negative value. negative value. So negative value indicates what? Levo-rotated. So before dissolution, its value is 66.5 degrees, but after dissolution in the water, it's becoming what? Minus 20 degrees. So dextro-rotatory becomes what? Levo-rotatory. This process we call it as what? Inversion. Inversion of configuration of sucrose taking place in its solution. So called the sucrose also we call it as what? Invert sugar. The sucrose, other name of sucrose is what? Invert sugar. So clear why we are calling it the invert sugar? Because initially when you take the sucrose is a dextro-rotatory. But this solution, sucrose solution is what? Levo-rotatory. Means there was an inversion of its configuration from dextrose to levo. So called invert sugar. Next one. How the bonding? Sucrose is made up with glucose and fructose. See, if you see the glucose, alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. Alpha D glucose and beta D fructose, they both will combine with each other and they form the glycosidic linkage and they forms what? Sucrose. Let us see. See, alpha D glucose. So glucose is a pyranose ring form. So pyranose ring and it's an alpha form. Alpha form means OH group is bottom. Okay, this is what? Alpha D glucose. Next, beta D fructose. Beta means what? OH group is above. Fructose is what? Furanose ring form. OH, CH2OH. So this is what? Beta D fructose, beta form. Okay, so this is the alpha form and this is what? Beta form. Now they both, so this OH group and this OH group. The OH group of C1, the OH group of C1 of glucose will combine with the OH group of C2 of fructose and they forms glycosidic linkage. Remaining everything is same. They form glycosidic linkage. And what we call this glycosidic linkage? Alpha comma beta. Why? Because first monomer is what? Alpha form. Second monomer is what? Beta form. Alpha comma beta 1 comma 2. Alpha first carbon, beta second carbon. Alpha comma beta 1 2 glycosidic linkage. Alpha beta 1 comma 2 glycosidic linkage. Okay, so that by using that linkage, both glucose and fructose both will combine together and they generates what? Sucrose. And one more thing, sucrose is a reducing sugar and a non-reducing sugar. See that if you see the structure of this, both the functional group of glucose is what? Aldehyde group, first carbon, and the functional group of fructose is what? Second carbon, ketonic group. Both are involved in what? Linkage. There was no free functional group. If there was no free functional group, it will not act as a reducing sugar. So that is why the fructose is non-reducing sugar. It's very, very important. Out of all disaccharides, this is only the non-reducing sugar. It's a non-reducing sugar and does not show mutarotation. Does not show mutarotation. Only reducing sugars only can show the mutarotation, but non-reducing sugars doesn't show. So this is about what? Sucrose. Sucrose having which glycosidic linkage? Alpha beta 1,2 glycosidic linkage. Next, move on to the second disaccharide, that is what? Lactose. Lactose. Lactose also we called as what? Milk sugar, because of present in milk. So it is what we called as milk sugar. So when this lactose on hydrolysis, acidified hydrolysis, or by the using of enzyme emulsin, okay, what we get? We get beta D galactose and beta D glucose. Beta D galactose and beta D glucose. So that means galactose and glucose, they both are what? Monomers or monosaccharides of disaccharide lactose. Okay, see, both galactose and glucose, they both are what? They both are C4 epimers. C4 epimers. They both are what? Pyramidose ring form only, 6-membered rings. Okay, pyramidose ring form. But they differ at what? 4th carbon only. So they both are what? C4 epimers. If you see the structure and the glycosidic linkage between these two monomers, let us see draw the structure of galactose here. So this is what? Beta D galactose. Okay, and beta D glucose. OH, H, H, OH, OH, H, H, OH, CH2OH and H. If you see the structures of both are almost same. Okay, both are beta form. OH, OH are at above. But they both are C4 epimers. C1, C2, C3, C4. C4. See the 4th carbon. Here OH group is at above. Here OH group is at below. They both are divided only 4th carbon. So that is why we are calling these two are C4 epimers. Now, how they forms the glycosidic linkage? See the OH group of C1, first carbon of galactose, and the OH group of 4th carbon of glucose. See, this OH and this OH, they both involved in glycosidic linkage and they lose water and they forms so this is what? Glycosidic linkage. So they both are beta forms, but first carbon of galactose and 4th carbon of glucose. So beta 1, 4. What is it indicates? Beta, why beta? Why beta, beta? Why? Because they both are same configuration. That is why no need to repeat it 2 times. So beta 1, 4. First carbon of galactose and 4th carbon of glucose. 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Beta 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Here, if you see that, is this a reducing sugar or non-reducing sugar? So definitely it's a reducing sugar. Why? See that this is the functional carbon of galactose, but it's involved in bonding. So this is a non-reducing part. Galactose ring is what? Non-reducing part. But see that glucose part, here the functional group carbon is what? First carbon, but it is having a free OH group. The functional carbon OH is free. Okay, they can show its behavior. So it's a reducing part. So because of that, because of presence of this functional group in the glucose, it is a reducing sugar and can show the mutar rotation. So this is about lactose. Lactose also we called as what? Milk sugar. Okay, can be hydrolyzed by the using of enzyme emulsin into galactose and glucose. Galactose and glucose both are what? C4 apimers. And between the galactose and glucose, which glycosidic linkage is present? Beta 1,4 glycosidic linkage is present. Next, move on to the third disaccharide, what? Maltose. Maltose. Okay, this is what we call as a malt sugar. Malt sugar. Okay, so when the maltose on hydrolysis in presence of acid or by the using of enzyme maltase, we will get alpha D glucose plus alpha D glucose. Both are glucose units only. Okay, see, if you take the two glucose units, alpha forms only. So this is what? Alpha glucose. This is another alpha glucose unit. The OH group of C1, OH group of C1 of first glucose, OH group of C4 of second glucose, both will involved in bonding, glycosidic bonding, and they forms so now this glycosidic linkage, what we call this glycosidic linkage, they both are what? Alpha forms only. So alpha C1 of first carbon, first glucose 1 and C4 of second glucose. So alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage. So in this structure, if you see the first functional group, first monomeric unit, this functional group is involved in bonding, but the second one is free. That is why this is a non-reducing part and this is a reducing part. So overall, the maltose is what? Is an reducing sugar and can show mutar rotation. Okay, so these are the disaccharides. So once again, under the disaccharides, we discussed mainly three. One is the sucrose, lactose, maltose. Sucrose, what is the glycosidic linkage in sucrose? Alpha, beta 1,2 glycosidic linkage between the glucose and fructose. It's a non-reducing sugar, cannot show the mutar rotation. And it is also called invert sugar. Next one, lactose, also called milk sugar. And the glycosidic linkage is beta 1,4 glycosidic linkage between galactose and glucose. Next one, last one, maltose, also called malt sugar. And the glycosidic linkage is what? Alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage between the two glucose units. Okay, and this is also a non-reducing sugar, can show the mutar rotation. I hope you understood this topic. The remaining polysaccharides we will discuss in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.